Good evening. Thank you all for coming. I'm Dr. Rick Wilson. I'm not a physician, but I have been at the University of Tennessee for Chattanooga for 41 years. I have also 8 years of experience running a county agency when I ran the Election Commission. As a professor, I have authored or edited 13 books. I've been blessed to have had 5 of them win national awards. But the most important thing I want to tell you for this is that in addition to the education, in addition to this governmental experience, I have practical experience as a small businessman and as a contractor. My work in editing encyclopedias has allowed me to provide jobs for some 200 scholars in publishing the books for a major corporation, and my work as a contractor of renovating homes has allowed me to create jobs in the construction industry. I'm happy to do that and offer both practical, the educational, and the governmental experience for your consideration as county mayor. Thank you.
What is your position on the following? Annexation, consolidation of services, metropolitan government. How will this benefit all citizens? Will any of these actions result in a tax refund to all taxpayers?
There's a strong case to be made for consolidating services, and I'm strongly in favor of it. I strongly support a voluntary, collaborative, citizen-based effort to come up with a plan for reforming the taxing and spending of this county and submitting it to a vote of the people in August of 2014. This plan is not Metro. I do not support Metro. I do not advocate Metro. But I do advocate getting the economic benefits that Metro or a Metro-style government would get without Metro. You do it by consolidating services and by eliminating duplicated expenses. The plan that I have outlined, the plan that I think can be put into effect, would make annexation by the city of Chattanooga irrelevant. You wouldn't need to do it because you'd already have consolidated the services. Is it possible to have a tax refund? Yes, it is. It is possible for you to actually cut taxes if you get enough cooperation in developing this program. I do strongly favor the elimination of unnecessary services, and the objective is to make it possible for us to either have better taxes or better services.
What action will you take to ensure all constitutional offices operate within their budget to avoid a county-wide tax increase? The sheriff's office spending routinely exceeds approved.
The sheriff has 2 years in a row run over, and this year it was more than $500,000, over $675,000. It's outrageous to have that much taxpayer waste. But you know what? I'm going to defend the sheriff. Because the problem is not really with the sheriff. The problem is with the budgeting system that has been used in this county for too long. And that's a responsibility that falls on the county mayor for failing to come up with a better budgeting system. For example, Walmart takes account of everything. You go to Walmart and buy a toothbrush. When you get that, take that to the cash register and pay for it, it reads the barcode. At that point, they are actually allocating toothbrushes for that store, but on a worldwide basis. Every store is treated the same way. If Walmart can do that, Hamilton County can come up with a better system, perhaps not as expensive as Walmart's, but we can do it here. The problem is that if Walmart did its budgets the way Hamilton County did its budgets, there would be only one Walmart. It would be boarded up and bankrupt in Bentonville, Arkansas. We need an improvement in leadership.
Amen.
And we need it now. Like Mr. Ford, I'm afraid I don't know the exact percentage of African Americans that are employed by county government. I do have some experience, though, with an agency in county government. I came into the Hamilton County Election Commission in 1977, and I can remember exactly what the percentage of African Americans on the staff was. 0. And when I left, we had employed for the first time African Americans, some of whom are still working at that agency today. I have not only improved it, I not only would advocate the improvement of the number of African Americans, and by the way, Latinos in county government, but I have done it myself. Thank you very much. Oh, and the NAACP awarded me a National Education Award for my efforts at improving the Election Commission and having those African Americans be involved in voter outreach at the time. National award at the time. Thank you.
our county government to give up their rights to act as an independent
I
organization?
think that's one of the most difficult, the question of the schools are one of the most difficult questions there is, because it really doesn't matter where you are in the United States, schools are controversial. And you know what? They should be. They involve our children, and we are actively concerned about what happens to our children, so I'm not surprised that controversy surrounds the school board. In this state, the decision has been made that the county government will supply the funding, and that funding will then be expended by the school board. That is a part of the law. It's actually also a part of our constitutional provision that was added in 1977. That's a good and sound position. There are states that do have the school boards providing or allowed to raise the tax rate. We don't permit that here. I support the Tennessee position on that. But you know, there's two parts to that. It requires cooperation. So there has to be an effort on the part of the county government not to micromanage the school board. And there has to be an exercise of responsibility on the part of the school board. That's a practical matter and has to be made on a case-by-case basis. Thank you.
What are your opinions on lower wastewater costs and changes?
Yes. This is one of the staggering problems we face. As you may know, the newspapers have already reported that we're a short time from where the city will have to accept a consent order that will add $100 million in fines for failing over the years to provide an adequate waste treatment plant here in Chattanooga. But it's not just Chattanooga. Wastewater is coming from areas outside the city of Chattanooga. Some of the other cities are contributing into it. Some of the unincorporated areas are contributing to it. Wastewater, the problem of wastewater is a county-wide problem that needs to be addressed in a county-wide way. That's one of the reasons why I proposed this new system of taxing and spending in the county that would have citizen-based initiatives that would come up with a plan. Anything you want to pay for, if you pay for it with the entire tax base of the county, it's cheaper. It's cheaper by half over the city, cheaper by over 30% times East Ridge, over 50% by Signal Mountain, and 62% by Red Bank, and for others as well. This is a major concern that we have to address. Thank you.
Should we vote for you, starting with Dr. Wilson?
Well, thank you very much. I thank you all very much for coming. I'm sorry I missed the opportunity to not have the third person here to talk with this issue, but I guess I'm not surprised. If I had, as he did before he became county mayor, promised to address the issue of eliminating duplicated services and expenses, as he did at Red Bank High in January of 2011, and then he had done absolutely nothing during that entire period, I would be ashamed to show up here too. In fact, if I had promised to get rid of duplicated expenses by sitting down with the mayor, I would have expected to come up with something more than he has come up with. He's apparently sat down with the mayor, and the duplicated expense, a pay raise for himself and the mayor. An added expense, not a reduction in expenses. But where'd the money for the pay raise come from? He had promised, he gutted the health department at a serious disadvantage to the public health of all of us, firing people, saying he didn't have the money. He did say at the time, or indicated at the time, that they were layoffs. They really weren't, they were firing. But he pretended they were layoffs and he would bring people back if he found the money. He found the money. And he brought a few people back, but most of them, including some people who are in this audience, didn't get their jobs back. Amen. He, on the other hand, did get a pay raise. I would be ashamed to show my face if I had done that. When I went to the election commission, because I thought the salary was too high, I cut a salary for myself of $18,500 down to $10,670. If it came to a question of taking a pay raise, I would not do so, and I would refuse to take the pay increase, or if I had to because of some law, I would provide a charity to take care of the excess. I would not do so. I don't say that as a promise. I've already done it. I will do it again.